everyone, welcome to today's episode. Firstly, just an apology about my eye, but it's looking a little bit better than it did yesterday, and I really can't see out of those dark glasses. So I've muted the lighting, and hopefully um, we'll all get through it. I must still do Michael Jackson's Thriller one day. Right, today we are doing Jimi Hendrix, and it's the first time on the channel, I think. Uh, the reason for doing The Wind Cries Mary, I will tell you after the song. Let's listen to the song first of all, one of my absolute favourite Hendrix songs from the early days, from 1967. Let's listen to it first. Please, if you like the video, please click the thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. We are over 600 subscribers now. So regulars will know what that means for Tuesday's Moody Tuesday. But for now, let's listen to the Jimi Hendrix Experience and The Wind Cries Mary.
After all the jacks are in their boxes and the clowns have all gone to bed, you can hear happiness staggering on down the street. Footprints dressed in red, and the wind whispers Mary. A broom is drearily sweeping up the broken pieces of yesterday's life. Somewhere a queen is weeping. Somewhere a king has no wife. And the wind, it cries very. Traffic lights, they turn blue tomorrow and shine the emptiness down on my bed. The tiny island sags downstream, 'cause the life that lives is dead. And the wind screams Mary. Blown in the past, and with this crutch, its old age and its wisdom, it whispers, no, this will be the last. And the wind cries Mary.
I love that song. June 1967. The reason I chose that song, and by the way, I have it here on my Oh gosh, where are we going? Here it is. The Experience Hendrix compilation CD, which is my easiest Hendrix material to get to. Uh, I was thinking a little bit about how to approach the channel slightly differently and looking at things perhaps instead of from a rarity feel, from a little bit more of a historical feel. So I started looking a little bit at June, things that happened in June, and in 1967 I had a look at the singles charts. Oh my goodness me! Um, a Whiter Shade of Pale was number one. Procol Harum, of course. The Hollies and Carrie Ann, I think, were number three. Um, and just in early June, up to number six was The Wind Cried Mary. And I just remember transporting myself back to those days and thinking, my goodness me, I haven't heard really any music quite like this at the time. And I was never heavily into Hendrix at all. Um, but he was there, of course, from 67 to 70. He was around and about. And as I left school in the summer of 1970, I began to hear more and more. Of course, the Woodstock movie came out in 1970, and I remember seeing that. And of course, the highlight is Star Spangled Banner by Jimi Hendrix, the kind of winding down of the show on the Monday morning, the festival on the Monday morning. When after 400,000 people had been there, there were only about 30,000 left to see that performance. And so that sparked a sort of a revival in my Hendrix experience. Excuse the pun. And then, of course, he went and died in September, um, just after I had bought the Stephen Stills first solo album, with him playing with Stephen and with having that album dedicated to James Marshall Hendrix, and he had gone. Um, so it was catch up all the way from there. But this was the song that I remembered at the time. It was the song that always stayed with me. And it's such an interesting story about it. It took them 20 minutes to record the song. Can you believe it? They got 20 minutes left in a recording session where they recorded Fire, and Chas Chandler, the manager, said, "Why don't you do a demo for The Wind Cries Mary?" Now, Noel Redding on bass and Mitch Mitchell on drums had never heard the original idea of the song. Only Chaz and, of course, Jimmy. Uh, so they played it. They played along with it without any rehearsals or anything like that. And I think after the second take, Jimmy said, "That's it. I love the feel. That's all. I just want to do a few overdubs." So Chaz said, okay, you've got about 10 minutes left. And he did 4 or 5 overdubs. Uh, and I read that he said, "I want to play it in between," which means that he would play the overdubs between the notes that he'd already played on the original demo. Uh, it's remarkable that you listen to Noel Redding and you listen to Mitch Mitchell there. They didn't know the song, and 20 minutes later, that's the finished article. I mean, Redding's bass is so intuitive. Mitch Mitchell's drumming is fantastic. What a drummer! What a drummer! I saw a little video made by Elvis Costello when he's talking about this particular song, and he's saying how an Irishman and an Englishman can support Hendrix and create such funk. Well, Noel Redding wasn't Okay, he wasn't born Irish. He moved over there in 72 and lived the rest of his life in Ireland. But technically, they were both Englishmen. But the point is very clear. How can two English rock players create such a funky vibe along with the brilliant Hendrix? But they do. Um, Absolutely remarkable. The song is about, most people seem to think it's about Jimmy's girlfriend at the time, Kathy Etchingham, whose middle name was Mary. And she had a row with Jimmy the night before, and there's a lyric about broken pieces of crockery or plates, something like that in the lyric, and that's a reference to the plates that she threw at him in the row. Well, there you go. It was a boisterous exchange of two different opinions, I'm sure. But there we are. Um, some of the lyrics also were purported to have come from a poem that Jimmy had written a year or two earlier. It might even have been when he was in the army. I'm not sure. About the king with no wife and the queen with no head. But it's a magnificent song, and I mean those early days of the Hendrix experience and the length of the songs. I mean, this is just 3 minutes and it feels like a marathon. You play Little Wing, which is still my favourite Hendrix song, I think, but after 2 minutes and a few seconds, it's over. I don't know. Those were the days, as Cream said. But yes, uh, Hendrix for a change. And what a lovely change. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments what you think about this song. Were you around and about in 67 and following the Jimi Hendrix experience? It's remarkable that Paul McCartney had to kind of engineer his big break in the States after all the time he spent playing around the US. He gets brought over to the UK by Chas Chandler. He creates a huge impression. He's playing in Europe. He has a big hit with Are You Experienced? And McCartney has to convince people to put him on the to put Hendrix on the bill for the Monterey Pop Festival. And of course, everything changed after that. Um, but it's funny. It's funny how things happen. And by the time he was playing Woodstock, he was the highest paid uh, rock musician in the world. Yeah. Okay. Let me know what you think. Comments, please. Like and subscribe. Please, please go to Buy Me a Coffee and request a song. Let's try and um, get a community going where we share each other's favorite songs. It can be anything. I'm really keen to hear what you would like to play, something that you like that maybe you don't think I've heard. That would be super. So think about that. In the meantime, have a lovely, lovely day, and I'll see you tomorrow on the next video. But until then, cheers, everybody.